look at all the countries where we source crops as sources of learning, sources of new practices. But Brazil, because it's so large and so important to us, I think has really there's been a couple of areas that we really found it to be, and the farmers are very sophisticated, found it to be very effective at helping us not only in Brazil and take new practices, but really to around the world. So, for example, with some of our farmers, we've introduced a technology called CropX, which is really a set of sensors that allows them to understand what's going on in their soil, what's going on in the world around them, and ultimately they can use that information to both help create better soil, but also to become better farmers. Another example is a system called ArcGIS, and it's some software that really allows the farmer to take information from a variety of sources. Things like, what was the weather, right? What did I apply to the crops in a given day? And it allows them to get very, very specific. I would say another area that we're working on, in Brazil, is broadly just our business, more broadly. How do we work with our facilities and the facilities of our partners to do things like clean energy? And so those are things that they're working on. They're on that journey. So clean energy is one, certainly around biomethane, but also around our vehicle fleet. We've got about 180 no or low emission vehicles in our fleet, and we're continuing to expand that number. Things like solar thermal as a way to heat. Some of the products that we use in the cooking and the baking process. That's an area, a couple of our plants have solar thermal. And then just things like water conservation. And we've got facilities that have on-site water purification, water processing facilities that they built as a part to reuse as much water as possible, not in the ingredients, but all the other things like washing potatoes. So we're doing a lot. Brazil has been a great laboratory for us because, again, on the farming side, the sophistication and the willingness of farmers to try new things. And then also in our own operations, where we've got a very progressive management team. We've got a real interest in continuing to advance things. And you try these things, and if they work, you quickly scale them up. And whether it's in Brazil, Latin America, or ultimately the world, we're always looking for those things that prove to be successful. I think Brazil is really leading the way, and we're excited about it.